excited for this week's edition. Barb Smith, the head coach at Illinois State. Barb, thanks for joining us.
No problem. My pleasure.
Hey, you guys have done a great job. Last year only won a couple of games. You've already tripled what you did last year. What's been the biggest reason why?
Well, first of all, we have a group of freshmen that have come in and really done a great job for us. And we have an upper class group and we have a younger class group or a younger group, and they have just really meshed well together. And they get along, they work hard, and we're just continuing to build. And I'm so excited about the future of this program.
I love that word build, because that's a word that I think is really important, especially this time of year. You guys lead the league in steals, so you're building on that end of the floor with your defense. I'm guessing that you don't play a lot of zone.
We try not to play a lot of zone. We like up tempo. We like to try to cause some turnovers, and because we're not a great scoring team yet. So, and I know, Debbie, don't hold that against us.
Well,
but we've got to play defense and hopefully get some easy baskets until we can become a better offensive team. And there have been games where it's come together offensively, but we're very inconsistent there. So, at times we look like we are an older group. And there are other times where we look like we're a very inexperienced group. And that's the fluctuation of a very young and inexperienced basketball team.
Well, you got a couple of go-to players. One's old and one is new. So since you mentioned it that way, let's talk about Octavia Crump and what she does. Has she done the things that you wanted her to do at the beginning of the year to this point now?
Well, most of the things that we asked her to get better at were off-the-court things like being a leader, being an example in practice, being someone that the younger players can see that models the way that we want to do things. And she has done that. She's been a great role model. She's they almost call her grandma now. It's just really a great, very cool dynamic. And, I would like her to even step up more. Like it's February. Some of our younger legs are a little bit tired, a little bit worn, and our upperclassmen have to carry a little bit more of the load during this time of year. And so we are looking for Sue Crump to do that.
What about Shakela Fowler and what she's been able to do? Now, I think you guys pretty much play small because you don't really have a large post presence. You don't really play with a back-to-the-basket kind of post. She really is the definition of small in the way you play. What has she been able to do, and what has been effective for her?
There's no question that Shakela Fowler has probably had the toughest role of anybody, coming in, being undersized, but having to take command as a point guard and as a freshman to come in and run the show, get people where it's supposed to be, also be a person that picks up the ball and is a defensive stopper, because you can't move her around too much in terms of guarding. So she always has to be on the ball. She's had a tough job, and she has, in my opinion, she's conquered it. She's done everything we've asked her to do, and she keeps wanting to know, what can I do to be better? How can I help more? What can I do more? Just a very unselfish point guard that she's just phenomenal. And her creativeness with the ball is I think is very, very good. And she's just going to get better once she figures out how to do this level.
Now, Barb, you were a pretty good point guard back in the day. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to dig up any footage, reel to reel, black and white, and all that stuff. But when you look at what you were able to do and the way you played and some of the great point guards that you have coached over the years, where does she sit and where can she grow?
I think she has the potential, Debbie, to be one of the best point guards that I've coached, because she sees the floor, she handles so well, and she overcomes her deficiency, which is her size. She just overcomes it. She doesn't care that she's going up against, a Taylor Manual. She's going to the basket, and she's going to find a way to get in there. Now, it's not always successful right now because she's still trying to figure that out, but she's probably one of the most dynamic point guards I've ever coached.
Barb, I want to take a little diversion to another level to the Play for K and the K-Yao Cancer Fund, because from the very beginning, you have been one of the biggest supporters. You have participated in everything that we've ever done with a fund. And now you have an event coming up on your own campus with Jill Savage. Talk to us about that a little bit. Tell us what that is and why it's important for your team to understand this.
Well, I think Jill Savage is a local person who has conquered this disease and is just she's one of the people that can just, courage just comes off her when you speak to her, when you talk about her. And, I think for our players, we had some people come in for the Play for K. We had all the survivors out there at halftime, but our team misses all that interaction. So this is another way where we can have our team present, we can have our coaches present, we can have the community present, and our booster club is helping sponsor this thing so that we can continue to raise money for this cause. And I just, Leanna Bordner on our administrative staff has done a great job in helping organize this. And it's just another event that we want to continue to grow.